practice throwing hidden hard swords at an iron curtain dartboard. I hit the bullseye and hit the hill with each following sword. When knowledge is born, a cipher is formed perfectly. This cycle goes on for eternity. That's what a circle means. No beginning, no end, only what lurks between. Life is more than prior to death. That's also where the journey leads. Seeking more than this, I leave the forest and search for trees. I close my eyes, cause where I'm going, only the third can see. The hour striking lightning, exciting the biocircuitry. The other eyes to see the surface, the mind observes beneath. I prefer unique over the instinct to window think and don't do what they want, they just pretend at peace. Satisfied with not being satisfied, you must be kidding me. I will not put being myself second to anything. Words of wisdom, those who listen to instruments to me through the mic. What I write conducts a symphony, a masterpiece, but there has to be strength independently before those strengths can shape anything. Ivory shower, wind minus cloud, piano raindrops. My soul is in an oddly shaped box inside a weight lock, trapped between worlds like night and day watch. The gloam, the cell where alone, the parallel roam. This is best compared to the signal carried by cell phones. Not visibly well known, but nonetheless tangible. Just as substantial as bones, flesh. Despite distinctions, dimensions can't coalesce. The depth of both life and death, just think of how they might connect. My body's a deck, I'm a cassette. How do I eject? Everything is a puzzle. Consider the integration of struggle. You cannot compromise integrity without breaking this bubble. A cipher that is unstable will crumble. Anything one creates, one can undo, but it's not simply forward and reverse. Let's say we could explain the forming of the earth to determine how it's destroyed. We can't just push rewind, that's not how it works. You were given two paths to fight clubs, live powder burn. There are several steps one can take. It's like a labyrinth, elaborate multi-gravity staircase where the Goblin King had a baby and made Sarah chase. My whole life I've been drawn away like Penn tears his face. I've had the sense that I belong somewhere in space, a feeling I can never shake, not even with the Richter scales heavy as quake. But someone or something just won't let me escape. I'm left in this cage, no chance for parole, subjected to age, willing but seemingly not destined to change. It hurts like hell, but I will not surrender the pain, for between beginning and ending there is many a page.
Dying ashes of one world, we will emerge into a better one. Destruction is always required before rebirth.
I want to bring you up to date. You've been living with ignorance too long. I want to impart some information because it's obviously coming back to you anyway, and I want to be the first. I want to be the very first.
As life fluctuates, primates sleep and butterflies wake. That's how I face for a human being. What do you mean? Well, the way the stern lines correspond with thoughts being dispersed from your mind. Are you thinking? I'm always thinking. Then you're not a human, you're a conscious being. And who might you be? Truly, I can't exactly tell you that. You see, I'm sort of a spell you cast. I'm here to give you this to take with you as you seek intelligence. A staff, what's this for? To guide you on your path. It'll take you to the answers to questions that you never asked. And its powers will ever last. But I'm asleep now, he began to walk away. I'm like, no, don't go yet. There's so much that I don't know yet. He stopped for a whole second, cast me a sideways glance. Then he vanished before I could advance. That was the past, this is the present. In reflection, I now know it was me to answer my questions. I came to myself to give me guidance for the knowledge I seek and give encouragement to find it. My thoughts disperse in my mind, travel the size of atoms when they not combined, and reintegrated another time in a book of rhymes, moving away from the spine. Or perhaps years ago, written backwards from Nostradamus' third eye. You ever see a bird flying, wonder why? Not why he's flying, but why he's flying at that specific moment in time. Where is he headed, and does he still have to decide? They just like us in that they lead their own lives. Maybe he's going to his man's nest, or maybe he wants to transgress, treat his brain like spandex and expand, stretch the limits of a bird's given nature of living, and go to a place that no bird's supposed to visit. You can also give into your curiosity, even if it's just periodically, it doesn't make a difference. Cause once you did it, you can't say that you didn't. It'll always be there, in the back of your mind sitting, waiting for you to access your imagination. You're trembling and shaking, but you can overcome that fear if you face it. You're scared because your life appears to be changing. It is, that's what happens. You must go astray from your older ways. Turn your back on your friends or go play. Do what you want, but you can't have it both ways. It's one or the other. And once you adjust your life structure, you can't influence others, not even your own brother. He ain't gonna change cause you tell him to. Yes he will, no he won't. He has to do it of his own free will. You can teach, provoke him to think, but you have no control over the outcome that he will reach. You can hand him a feather, but he has to dip it in the ink. I must admit, the situation is usually bleak. As soon as you speak, cats go into defense mode and slam the door on you and your info. Like when the wind blows through a room with an open window, you have to improvise. The door can't close when the hinge broke. You can't treat your friends foes or your kinfolk like your kinfolk. They gonna take everything for a big joke. You gotta set them down, tell them shut up, listen, then you can go. When you finish, that's the end of the road. Leave them alone, they gonna do whatever they gonna do. After you talk to them for an hour or two, you can't stress it any more powerful. Now let's go back like drowning in the fountain of youth. Back to you. Have I reached you? Are you gonna change the way that you think do? Let all that water run out of your brain like a sink do? Or are you gonna sink to a lower level out of spite cause you won't settle for anyone to tell you to spike the treble in the vessel that nestles within your skull? I know it's hard, why not choose to overcome a pebble before a stone wall when it's so tall? And that small rock requires no effort at all. You don't have to walk before you crawl. I don't expect you to come that far after this one song. It don't have to happen instantly, but that pinnacle should be reached eventually. Don't you find it odd that for the past 8 or 9 centuries, probably longer because I don't know my history, that human beings are considered lucky to live a century? How come we still using medicine to cure injuries? By now we should be able to do that type of thing mentally. We should be able to do everything mentally. That's probably what we was meant for since our race's infancy. We just living machines, only living because we make decisions independently. If you talk computers that they needed electricity to stay in activity and build them so they can reproduce on their own and thrive, make one of their goals to survive. They look at electricity as the food they need in order to stay alive, then they be alive. As far as they're concerned, the ones we use don't do much of this, and they carry germs, viruses that destroy documents and shut down entire units of central processing. The same thing goes on inside of men, but you stupid motherfuckers won't even open your minds a bit. That's why you never go to half of the places that I have been, cause you're determined to further your unconsciousness, never to return the opposite direction and step with your walking stick.